Welcome to RoadReadyRecaps. Are you looking for a concise and full overview of Arizona Driver License Handbook 2025? You are at the right place. Let's begin. Introduction. This chapter provides essential background on accessing motor vehicle division services, key records, and license types you'll encounter throughout the manual. Office locations and hours. Most Arizona Motor Vehicle Division (MVD) offices offer both driver license and title and registration services to the public. Before visiting, check the interactive list of offices, services, and business hours at az.gov/MVD to avoid wasted trips. Online research and appointments help you beat peak periods and shorten wait times when you must visit in person. azmvdnow.gov. azmvdnow.gov is the secure, 24-hour portal for more than 20 MD transactions, from registration renewals to permit tests at home. 2/3 of all routine business, like ordering a duplicate license or filing a sold notice, can be completed on the site without visiting an office. Customers can also schedule road test and travel ID appointments online, keeping Arizona's vision of out of the line and safely on the road. Third-party services. Authorized third-party providers can process most driver license, title, and registration tasks under MVD oversight. Many locations stay open evenings and weekends, adding flexibility for busy customers. A convenience fee applies. Quality audits ensure third-party transactions meet the same state operational standards as MVD offices. Driver education services. MVD-authorized driving schools deliver classroom and behind-the-wheel instruction built on nationally benchmarked curricula. High school programs approved jointly with the Department of Education also satisfy permit and graduated license requirements. A searchable list of professional driving schools is available online so new drivers can compare options and enroll early. Traffic Survival School Program. Traffic Survival School, TSS, is mandated for drivers with serious violations or point accumulations that threaten suspension. Courses focus on correcting high-risk behaviors. Completion is monitored by the National Safety Council's Arizona chapter. Find authorized schools at az.gov/MVD and register promptly when a TSS order appears on your driver record. Vehicle inspections. Level 1 inspections, performed by authorized third-party providers, verify that a vehicle's VIN matches its ownership documents. Online so new drivers can compare options and enroll early. MVD conducts higher-level inspections, Level 2/3, when theft recovery, kit build, or out-of-country paperwork requires deeper checks. Knowing which inspection level you need prevents repeat visits and delays in titling or registering a vehicle. Fees at MVD offices. License fees vary by age $25 for ages 1639, $10 for seniors 50+, and $12 for most replacements, page 5 fee table. Traffic fine payments, reinstatement fees, and specialty transactions can be made by cash, card, cashier's check, or money order. Visiting mid-month, avoiding the day after a holiday, and completing forms online first are proven tips for faster service. Name and address changes. State law requires drivers to report any name or address change to MD within 10 days or risk citation and missed notices. Address updates can be filed online at azmvdnow.gov. A replacement license is optional if you want the new address printed. Legal name changes must be done in person with proof of the old and new names and must match Social Security records. Military personnel information. Active duty military based in Arizona, yet resident elsewhere, are exempt from obtaining an Arizona license under the Soldiers and Sailors Civil Relief Act. Upon discharge, non-resident service members have up to 90 days to drive on their out-of-state license while working in Arizona. Visit az.gov/MVD for details on 5-year licenses and vehicle services tailored to deployed personnel. Veteran designation. U.S. military veterans and active duty members can add a bold veteran insignia to their Arizona license, permit, or ID card. Applicants must present approved discharge or service documentation and pay normal duplicate card fees. The designation honors service and may unlock merchant discounts and expedited veteran services. Motor vehicle records. Certified or uncertified driving and vehicle records can be ordered instantly through azmvdnow.gov or any MD/third-party office. You must show valid ID and pay the statutory fee, $3 uncertified, $5 certified for a 5-year record. Keeping tabs on your record helps detect identity theft and ensures employers see accurate information. Arizona's driver license. Applicants must show federally acceptable proof of legal presence before MD can issue or renew any Arizona driver license. Road test appointments are booked online. Examiners ride with you to grade safe operation on a route of varied traffic conditions. Every vehicle used for a road test must pass a quick mechanical check: brakes, lights, horn, mirrors, tires, and seat belts. Classes of licenses. Arizona issues Class G, graduated, D, operator, M, motorcycle, and commercial Class A, B/C licenses, plus instruction permits. A graduated license for 1617-year-olds restricts passengers and curfew during the first 6 months, with strict penalties for violations. Instruction permit holders must be supervised by a licensed driver 21 plus and log at least 30 hours, 10 at night, before testing. Identification, ID card. State ID cards are available to residents of any age, including infants, for $12 and free to seniors 65 plus or SSI disability recipients. You may not hold a driver license and an ID card simultaneously. The ID serves as primary photo identification for non-drivers. Parents can update a child's photo periodically for Amber Alert readiness. Duplicates with new photos cost $12. Introduction summary. These foundational services, online access, third-party options, records, fees, and license types equip you to navigate every later chapter confidently. Up next, Chapter 1, Before You Drive. Chapter 1, Before You Drive. Before you even turn the key, both you and your vehicle must be properly prepared. This chapter covers the equipment checks, safety restraints, and driver mindset that set the stage for every safe journey. Preparation. Inspect brakes, tires, lights, windshield, horn, and turn signals before leaving your parking spot. Repair or replace any defective equipment. Driving with unsafe parts is illegal and endangers everyone. Keep speedometer, emergency flashers, and driver side window in working order for full situational awareness. Safety belts. Drivers and all front seat passengers must wear a properly adjusted lap and shoulder belt while the vehicle is moving. Vehicles built after 1972 require seat belts. Using them cuts the risk of serious injury or death by roughly half. Operators must ensure passengers younger than 16 are buckled or face citation. Child safety seats. Children younger than 8 years old must ride in an age-appropriate child restraint system. Secure the seat in the rear whenever possible and follow the manufacturer's weight and height limits precisely. Never place a rear-facing child seat in front of an active airbag. Deployments can be fatal. Horns and warning devices. Every vehicle needs a horn audible from at least 200 feet to signal other road users. Emergency vehicles may use sirens, whistles, or bells, but standard vehicles may not add such devices. Use your horns sparingly, only to avoid collisions, not to express frustration. Red lights and flashers. Flashing red lights on the front of non-emergency vehicles are prohibited under Arizona law. Activate hazard flashers when your stopped vehicle becomes a road obstruction to alert approaching traffic. School buses and snow removal equipment are authorized exceptions for front-mounted red flashers. Head restraints. Correctly adjusted head restraints reduce whiplash by limiting rearward head motion in a crash. The top of the restraint should align with the top of your ears and sit close to the back of your head. Check and lock head restraints after anyone else drives or adjusts your seat. Rearview mirrors. Arizona requires at least one rearview mirror giving a clear view 200 feet to the rear. Adjust inside and outside mirrors before driving and after loading passengers or cargo. Glance at mirrors every few seconds to maintain awareness of traffic developing behind and beside you. Muffler. A properly functioning muffler prevents excessive noise and harmful exhaust leaks entering the cabin. Devices that bypass or cut out the muffler are illegal because they increase noise pollution. Vehicles from 1967 onward must also carry an exhaust emissions system to curb air pollution. Foresight. Safe drivers constantly scan traffic, anticipate hazards, and plan escape routes in advance. Good judgment means choosing the least risky option when surprises appear in the driving environment. Develop foresight through continuous practice and by analyzing your own driving errors honestly. Knowledge and experience. Begin with structured instruction and supervised practice to build solid vehicle handling skills. Experienced drivers must fight complacency and update habits to match today's faster, denser traffic. Commit to lifelong learning. Laws, vehicle technology, and best practices evolve over time. Distractions. Keep both hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. Small distractions create crash-sized consequences. Arizona bans texting, typing, or supporting a handheld device. Use hands-free only for calls. If something demands your attention, a dropped item, a crying child, pull over safely before dealing with it. Chapter 1 Summary. Vehicle readiness, proper restraints, and an alert, defensive mindset are the first layers of road safety. With these fundamentals mastered, you'll be ready to study Chapter 2, Safe Driving Practices. Chapter 2, Safe Driving Practices. Mastering safe driving techniques protects you, your passengers, and everyone sharing Arizona's roads. This chapter explores defensive habits, from scanning and signaling to freeway etiquette, that prevent most crashes. Defensive driving. Stay constantly aware, plan 2 moves ahead, and expect the unexpected from other road users. Keep a safe following distance so you can brake smoothly if hazards appear. Yield the right-of-way rather than staking your life on being technically correct. Foresight. Scan 12 to 15 seconds ahead to identify changing traffic patterns or road conditions early. Visualize escape routes before you need them, choosing the option with the least risk. Adjust speed smoothly as conditions evolve to avoid sudden braking or swerving. Knowledge and experience. Build skills through guided practice, then refine them by honestly reviewing your own errors. Update techniques as traffic laws, vehicle technology, and road designs change over time. Experienced drivers combat complacency by treating every trip as a fresh safety challenge. Distractions. Arizona law bans holding or texting on handheld devices while driving. Use hands-free only. Pull over safely if children, dropped items, or navigation adjustments demand your attention. Even a 2-second glance doubles crash risk. Keep eyes on the road and both hands on the wheel. Steering. Look well ahead and make small, gradual wheel inputs to stay centered in your lane. Direct your gaze toward the outside edge of curves to follow a smooth path. Practice low-speed turns in a safe area to develop muscle memory for precise control. Scanning. Continuously sweep mirrors and blind spots for vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists. Check interchapters left, right left before entering, even when you have the green. Look 1 city block ahead in urban areas to reduce last-second decision-making. Space cushion. Use the 3 to 6 second rule. Pick a roadside marker and ensure proper following distance. Add extra space in poor weather, at night, or when towing a trailer. If tailgate, ease off the accelerator and invite the impatient driver to pass safely. Communicating. Signal at least 100 feet, almost equals 4 seconds, before every turn, lane change, or freeway exit. Use brake lights, horn, and eye contact to alert others when conditions suddenly change. Remember that signaling does not grant right-of-way. Proceed only when the path is clear. Lane change or freeway exit. Passing. Pass on the left only when you have sufficient time and space to clear the vehicle ahead. Return to your lane only after you see the entire front of the passed vehicle in your mirror. Never exceed the speed limit or cross a solid line to overtake. Roundabouts. Slow to 15 to 20 miles per hour. Yield to traffic already circulating and enter to the right of the central island. Stay in your lane. Do not change lanes or stop once inside the roundabout. Exit promptly. If you miss your street, continue around until you reach it again. Diverging diamonds. At a DDI interchange, traffic briefly crosses to the opposite side, eliminating left turn conflicts. Follow lane markings and signals. Opposing traffic is separated by barriers for safety. Yield to large trucks and keep speeds low as you navigate the crossover lanes. Parking. Use signed accessible parking only with a valid placard and when transporting the eligible person. Turn wheels toward or away from the curb, depending on uphill/downhill orientation to prevent rollaway. Always set the parking brake and remove keys before leaving the vehicle. Backing up/reversing. Check behind your vehicle before entering. Children and objects may be hidden. Turn your body and look through the rear window. Do not rely solely on mirrors or cameras. Back slowly, being prepared to stop if any person or obstacle enters your path. Parallel parking. Align your rear bumper with the parked vehicle ahead, leaving about 2 feet of space. Reverse while steering sharply toward the curb, then straighten and ease into the spot. Finish with wheels within 18 inches of the curb and no part of your car blocking traffic. Emergency parking. Signal, pull as far off the roadway as practical and set emergency flashers or triangles. Stay with your car if safe. Lock it if you must leave to seek assistance. Call for roadside help and re-enter traffic only when conditions allow. Prohibited parking. Do not park on sidewalks, within interchapters, or blocking driveways and fire hydrants. Avoid stopping on freeway shoulders except for genuine emergencies. Violations can incur fines and create hazardous blind spots for other road users. Freeway driving. Freeways support higher speeds, maintain a larger following distance, and scan farther ahead. Never reverse or make a U-turn. Proceed to the next exit if you miss yours. Obey posted speed limits and keep right except to pass. Entering a freeway. Use the acceleration lane to match the speed of right lane traffic before merging. Signal, check mirrors and blind spot, then join the flow without crossing solid lines or gore areas. Yield to freeway traffic. Merge only when a safety gap exists. Exiting a freeway. Signal early and move into the deceleration lane. Reduce speed gradually. Maintain a space cushion in heavy traffic and never cross solid white lines to exit. If you miss an exit, continue to the next, never stop or back up on the freeway. Lane use. On multi-lane highways, right lanes serve entering/exiting traffic. Center lanes often flow smoother. Use mirrors and signals before changing lanes and avoid weaving through traffic. Stay centered between lane lines and respect HOV lane rules where posted. Freeway restrictions and HOV lanes. HOV lanes are reserved for carpools, motorcycles, buses, and alternative fuel vehicles at posted times. Cross the solid white line into or out of an HOV lane only at designated entry points. Freeway rules forbid stopping on shoulders, driving across medians, or making U-turns. Chapter 2 Summary. Safe driving practices blend keen observation, courteous communication, and strategic space management. Apply these habits consistently, and you'll be well prepared for Chapter 3 Roadway and Vehicle Knowledge. Chapter 3 Roadway and Vehicle Knowledge. Understanding Arizona's traffic control devices and roadway markings is vital for safe driving. This chapter demystifies signals, signs, pavement lines, and special zones so you can anticipate and obey every rule you meet. Signal lights. Standard red, yellow, and green traffic lights regulate movement at most interchapters statewide. Always stop fully at a red light. You may turn right if not prohibited and the way is clear. Proceed on green only after checking left and right to ensure cross traffic has stopped. Special signal meanings. Flashing red lights act like stop signs, come to a complete stop, then go when safe. Flashing yellow lights mean slow down, scan carefully, and cross only if the road is clear. A red arrow forbids movement in that direction until the arrow switches to green. Inoperative or uncontrolled interchapters. Treat dark signals and interchapters without signs as four-way stops, yielding to the vehicle on your right. Come to a complete stop behind the stop line or crosswalk before entering. Proceed only when all approaching traffic and pedestrians are clear of your intended path. Pedestrian signals and crossings. Obey pedestrian-activated lights. Flashing yellow warns. Solid red requires a full stop until walkers clear. Never pass a vehicle stopped at a crosswalk. Someone unseen may be crossing in front. Pedestrians should cross only when indicated and must avoid distractions such as headphones. Alleys and driveways. When leaving an alley or driveway, stop before the sidewalk and yield to pedestrians first. Yield to vehicles on the main road. Accelerate only after confirming a safe gap in traffic. Use turn signals early to communicate your entrance onto the roadway. Emergency vehicles and move over law. Pull to the right and stop when police, fire, or ambulance vehicles approach with lights or sirens. Maintain at least 500 feet behind responding fire trucks and 300 feet behind police vehicles. If a vehicle with flashing lights is stopped roadside, move over one lane or slow down significantly. School buses and school zones. Stop in both directions for a school bus displaying red lights and an extended stop sign arm on undivided roads. Remain stopped until the lights cease and the arm retracts. Watch for children crossing near the bus. In marked school zones, obey the posted 15 miles per hour limit and never pass another vehicle. Speed limits and impeding traffic. Unless posted otherwise, limits are 15 miles per hour near school crossings, 25 miles per hour in residential areas, and 55 miles per hour on open highways. Driving substantially below the flow of traffic can be hazardous. Stay in the right lane or allow faster cars to pass. Orange advisory speed plaques indicate a safe speed for curves or special conditions. Slow down accordingly. Traffic sign shapes and colors. Octagon always means stop. Triangle indicates yield. Recognize shapes even in poor visibility. Regulatory signs are typically white rectangles. Warning signs are yellow diamonds and work zone signs are orange. Guide signs use green, blue, or brown backgrounds to provide directions, services, or recreational information. Regulatory signs. Speed limit, lane use control, and turn prohibition signs carry the force of law. Obey them at all times. Do not enter, and wrong way signs warn you that you are about to drive against traffic flow. Failure to follow regulatory signs can lead to citations and dangerous head-on conflicts. Warning signs. Diamond-shaped yellow signs alert you to curves, merging traffic, animal crossings, and other hazards. Advisory speed plaques show the recommended safe speed for navigating the hazard ahead. Pennant-shaped no passing zone signs mark the beginning of areas where passing is forbidden. Railroad crossing signs and signals. Round advance warning signs and cross-buck X signs mark all public rail crossings. Prepare to stop. Stop at least 15 feet from tracks when lights flash, gates lower, or a flagger signals a train. Buses and tanker trucks must always stop. Be ready for them to brake at crossings. Work zones and flaggers. Orange signs, cones, drums, and electronic boards guide you safely through construction areas. Fines double for violations in posted work zones. Slow down and follow flagger instructions. Expect workers, uneven pavement, and abrupt lane shifts. Stay alert and avoid distractions. Pavement markings, yellow lines. Single broken yellow lines allow passing when the oncoming lane is clear. Solid double yellow lines prohibit passing in either direction. Stay to the right of both lines. A broken line beside a solid line means passing is allowed only for traffic next to the broken line. Pavement markings, white lines. Solid white lines separate lanes moving the same direction and discourage lane changes. Dashed white lines indicate you may change lanes with caution when space allows. A wide solid white stop line shows where to halt at interchapters or railroad crossings. Turn lanes and arrows. Shared center turn lanes, marked by dual solid and dashed yellow lines, are for left turns only. Lane arrows labeled only require you to turn in the arrow's direction when you reach the interchapter. Merge arrows on pavement signal that your lane will end. Prepare to merge safely when they appear. One-way and reversible lanes. One-way streets display white lane lines and one-way signs. Travel only in the indicated direction. Reversible lanes use double-dashed yellow lines and overhead signals showing which direction is allowed. Always check signs and roadway arrows before entering or exiting these special use lanes. Bicycle lanes and markings. A stencil of a bicycle or a solid white line designates lanes reserved primarily for cyclists. Motorists may cross bike lanes only to turn or park when no cyclists are present and after signaling. Yield at least 3 feet of clearance when passing cyclists to comply with Arizona's safe passing law. Guide signs and mileposts. Green directional signs provide route numbers, exit information, and distances to upcoming towns. Blue service signs point to gas, food, lodging, and emergency facilities along the highway. Mileposts every mile help pinpoint your location when reporting a breakdown or collision. Chapter 3 Summary. Roadway knowledge links every sign, signal, and stripe into one clear language of safety. With these cues mastered, you're ready to explore Chapter 4, Sharing the Road with Other Vehicles. Chapter 4, Sharing the Road with Other Vehicles. Arizona's roads are busiest when cars, trucks, motorcycles, and bicycles all mingle together. This chapter explains how to respect every road user's space so everyone arrives safely. Sharing the road with a bicyclist. Bicyclists have the same rights and duties as motorists and may legally occupy the full lane. When passing, give bicycles at least a 3-foot safety margin and never blast your horn in surprise. Expect cyclists to ride near the right edge, use hand signals, and display lights or reflectors after dark. Never crowd a bicyclist. Slow down and wait for a clear stretch before overtaking. Remember that riding under the influence is illegal for cyclists just as it is for drivers. Sharing the road with a motorcycle. Motorcycles are harder to see and their turn signals may not self-cancel, confirm their intentions. Give the rider a full lane. Squeezing alongside forces them into debris or oncoming traffic. At interchapters, look twice before turning. Many motorcycle crashes happen here. Avoid cutting them off after passing. A sudden squeeze may push the rider off the road. Wind blasts and following too closely destabilize motorcycles. Keep extra space in front and behind. Sharing the road with a truck. Large trucks need twice the stopping distance of a car. Do not cut in front and brake suddenly. Stay out of the truck's large blind spots or no zones, along each side and directly behind. Maintain a safe following distance. The truck's width can block your view of road hazards ahead. Watch for wide right turns. If a truck swings left, it may be setting up to turn right shortly. If your vehicle breaks down, pull far onto the shoulder so trucks can pass without swerving. Slow-moving vehicles. Farm equipment and animal-drawn vehicles often travel under 25 miles per hour and may straddle lane lines. Look for the orange triangular slow-moving vehicle emblem. Reduce speed and increase following distance. Operators may first pull left before turning right. Stay patient and allow them room to complete the maneuver. Passing safely requires a long, clear sight line. Never rush or tailgate these lawful road users. Impatience causes collisions. Respect their right to use the roadway and pass only when legal and safe. Chapter 4 Summary. Whether it's a bicycle, motorcycle, tractor, or 18-wheeler, every vehicle deserves space and respect. Apply these courtesy rules and move on to Chapter 5, Actively Avoiding Crashes, where you'll sharpen defensive maneuvers. Chapter 5, Actively Avoiding Crashes. Safe driving isn't passive luck. It's the art of spotting hazards early, adjusting smoothly, and controlling your vehicle when things go wrong. This chapter arms you with practical techniques to prevent crashes and handle emergencies. Braking and stopping. Stopping distance grows with speed. At 55 miles per hour, it can exceed 300 feet on dry pavement. Factor perception and reaction time almost equals 1.5 seconds before brakes even engage. Keep brakes in good condition and adjust speed so you can always stop within the distance you see ahead. Following distance. Maintain at least a 3-second gap. Double it to 6 seconds on wet or slick roads. Increase spacing behind large trucks that block your forward view of traffic conditions. Allow extra room when being tailgate so you can brake gradually and avoid being rear-ended. Driving the open road. Rural highways hide wildlife, farm equipment, and sudden dips. Scan far ahead and keep headlights on low beam at night. Strong crosswinds may push lightweight vehicles and trailers. Slow down and grip the wheel firmly. If a large truck overtakes you, move right within your lane and anticipate wind buffeting as it passes. Weather conditions. Reduce speed immediately when visibility or traction deteriorates due to rain, snow, or dust. Smooth steering, gentle acceleration, and early braking prevent skids on slick surfaces. Turn on low-beam headlights whenever wipers are in use so others can see you. Dust storms. If you encounter a wall of dust, pull completely off the roadway. Never stop in a travel lane. Turn off lights and release the brake pedal to avoid rear-end collisions in zero visibility. Stay buckled and wait until the storm passes before re-entering traffic. Rain and hydroplaning. The first 30 minutes of rain mix oil with water, creating an icy film on asphalt. Slow down. Hydroplaning can begin around 50 miles per hour. If it occurs, ease off the accelerator and steer straight. After driving through water, tap brakes lightly to dry them before resuming speed. Snow and ice. Accelerate and brake gently to avoid wheel spin. Use lower gears on downgrades. Bridges freeze first. Approach them with extra caution, even if adjacent pavement looks wet. If you start to skid, steer in the direction you want the front of the car to go and avoid braking hard. Flood areas. Never drive around flood barricades. You are financially liable for rescue costs if stranded. 6 inches of moving water can knock you down. 2 feet can sweep most vehicles away. Proceed through standing water only if depth is known and safe. Drive slowly in low gear. Night driving. Use headlights from sunset to sunrise and when visibility is less than 500 feet. Dim high beams within 500 feet of oncoming traffic or 200 feet when following another vehicle. Combat glare by looking toward the right edge of the road, not directly at oncoming lights. Impaired driving. Alcohol, marijuana, and many medications slow reaction time and distort judgment. Designate a sober driver. Aggressive driving and road rage often accompany impairment. Maintain composure and allow space. Zero tolerance laws apply to drivers under 21. Any detectable alcohol results in license suspension. Overheating. If the temperature gauge rises, turn off AC and switch on heater to draw heat from the engine. Pull over safely, turn off the engine, and wait for it to cool before opening the radiator cap. Carry coolant and water, but pour only into a cooled engine to avoid scalding steam. Tire failure. A blowout sounds like a loud bang. Grip the wheel, ease off the gas, and steer straight. Do not brake hard. Let the vehicle slow, signal, and steer to a safe stop off the roadway. Replace the tire with a properly inflated spare. Check pressures monthly to reduce risk. Power steering failure. If steering assist fails, the wheel will be hard to turn but still functional. Apply strong, steady effort. Signal and coast toward the nearest safe shoulder while braking gently. Do not turn off the key while moving. That may lock the steering column. Headlight failure. If headlights go out, try the dimmer switch or headlight switch. Sometimes lights will relight on another setting. Turn on emergency flashers, edge to the right and stop as soon as possible off the roadway. Carry a flashlight or headlamp in the vehicle for nighttime emergencies. Recovering from skids. Take foot off the accelerator. Steer smoothly in the direction you want the vehicle's front to go. Avoid slamming the brakes. This locks wheels and lengthens the skid. Once traction returns, straighten wheels and accelerate gently to regain speed. Chapter 5 Summary. Crash avoidance blends anticipation, space management, and calm responses to mechanical or weather threats. Master these tactics now, and in Chapter 6, Handling Emergencies, you'll learn the right actions that guide emergencies on Arizona's roads. Chapter 6, Handling Emergencies. Emergencies can strike without warning, from sudden skids to unexpected collisions. Know the right actions ahead of time so you can stay calm, protect passengers, and reduce further danger. Recovering from skids. Ease off the accelerator immediately. Do not slam the brakes during a skid. Steer smoothly in the direction you want the vehicle's front end to travel. As traction returns, gently straighten the wheel and accelerate only when fully stable. Avoid overcorrecting. Quick, jerky inputs can send the car into a counterskid. Debris on the road. Scan far ahead for tire fragments, fallen cargo, or rocks, especially after storms. Do not swerve sharply. Slow smoothly and steer around debris with controlled movement. Report hazardous objects to 911 once safely stopped so road crews can remove them. Secure your own load. Unsecured items that fall create fines and serious crash risks. Animals on the road. Reduce speed and cover the brake when animals are near the roadway, particularly at dawn and dusk. If an animal is ahead, brake firmly while maintaining steering control. Do not honk unpredictably. Swerving into oncoming lanes or off the road often causes worse crashes than a direct hit. After a collision with a large animal, pull over safely and call authorities to clear the hazard. Avoiding and mitigating crashes. If a head-on collision seems imminent, flash lights, sound horn, and move to the right shoulder. Release the brake just before impact to let the car rise, absorbing some crash energy. Brace between seat and wheel to protect yourself while keeping wrists off the airbag area. Crash procedures and quick clearance. Stop at the scene, check for injuries and exchange license, registration, and insurance information. If vehicles are drivable, Arizona law requires moving them out of travel lanes to the shoulder. Call 911 for injuries, hazards, or uncooperative drivers, and wait in a safe location. Staying in traffic lanes after a minor crash increases risk of secondary collisions. Assisting at the scene of a crash. Park well off the roadway, turn on hazard flashers, and set reflective triangles if available. Call emergency services, describing location, number of vehicles, and any visible injuries. Render basic aid only if trained. Avoid moving injured persons unless fire or traffic poses immediate danger. Remain on scene to provide witness information to investigating officers. Always be prepared. Emergency kit. Carry water, non-perishable food, flashlight, first aid supplies, and reflective triangles in your vehicle. Include jumper cables, a multi-tool, gloves, blankets, and a phone charger for varied roadside needs. Check kit contents and tire pressure monthly so items remain functional when emergencies occur. In desert climates, extra coolant and at least 1 gallon of water can be lifesavers. Chapter 6 Summary. Emergencies demand quick, informed actions, steer smoothly, communicate clearly, and prioritize safety. With these responses ready, you can navigate crises and keep moving toward your destination. Chapter 7. Law Enforcement. Knowing how to respond during a traffic stop keeps everyone safe and lowers stress. This chapter outlines what officers expect and what you, as the driver, should do. Traffic stop safety. Activate your turn signal and pull to the nearest safe shoulder or side road as soon as emergency lights appear. Remain inside the vehicle with seat belt fastened. Keep hands on the steering wheel where the officer can see them. At night, switch on interior lights so the officer can clearly observe the cabin before approaching. Only retrieve license, registration, or proof of insurance after the officer requests them, and you inform them of their location. Comply calmly with all lawful instructions. Arguments can be addressed later in court rather than roadside. Officer interaction and your rights. The officer will state the reason for the stop and request driver documents. Provide them promptly. If not in uniform, an officer must show credentials. You may respectfully request to see ID. You may ask clarifying questions, but prolonged arguments can escalate the situation. Save disputes for legal channels. Refusing to sign a citation is not an admission of guilt, but it may result in arrest under Arizona law. Inform the officer immediately if a firearm is present in the vehicle and await instructions before reaching for it. Always be prepared. Carry an emergency kit with water, first aid supplies, flashlight, jumper cables, and basic tools. Keep vehicle paperwork, registration, insurance, and license readily accessible to avoid fumbling during a stop. Maintain current address on your license and registration to prevent citations for documentation issues. Regularly check lights, tires, and emission compliance. Equipment violations often trigger traffic stops. Visit az.gov for up-to-date information on titles, registration, inspections, and insurance requirements. Chapter 7 Summary. Traffic stops are safer and quicker when drivers remain calm, visible, and cooperative. With these best practices memorized, you're ready for Chapter 8, Seatbelts, Airbags, and Child Safety Seats.